One of the most common reasons I see why people don't make content is they say they don't have enough time. Now, I get it. A lot of you have jobs or you have businesses that you're running, you have families that you're trying to spend time with, not completely neglect. So, doing content on the side, you're like, I just don't have time for it. I'm a busy guy, Jimmy. What do you want me to do? Well, in this video, I want to go over a couple reasons besides not having time. And I think these might be the real reasons that you've not been making content. So not only am I going to go over those, but I'm also going to go over how to overcome them. So if you've been struggling being consistent with content, YouTube, social media, LinkedIn, any of those things, hopefully this video will give you some value and show you how to overcome those. So jumping in, the reasons why you're not making content apart from not having time is perfectionism. And I think this is so common, especially for people that are starting out. They like to be perfectionists and they see the great content that other people are making, and then they see their own attempts at making it. And they're like, okay, this is one way too hard to do. And if I tried it, it's going to take so much time because I want to make something that's quality. You know, I have a brand I have a name to uphold here. I don't want to make garbage content. I want to do something good. And to do that, it's going to be a lot of work. So for a lot of people, perfectionism stops them from making any content at all, or it slows down the process so much where they're spending so much time on each piece of content where people don't know that they exist because they're not making content on a regular basis. Then number two, just not putting it on the calendar. James Clear in his book Atomic Habits calls it a implementation intention. And basically what that is there was two different groups in this experiment where they were trying to get people to work out. One group watched motivational videos on why you should be working out, and the other group, all they did was write down when they were going to do the exercise and where they were going to do it, that implementation intention. And the group that actually wrote that down was so much more likely to actually stick to working out because they had done that. So for you, oftentimes the reason why you're not creating content is because you did not put it on the calendar, write down when and where you're going to do it. Number three, being afraid to make bad content. And again, this is going similar to number one, but when you're starting out, you don't want to make bad content, and that often stops you from making any content at all. For me, making my first piece of bad content of a bad YouTube video was the first step that allowed me to continue to make other YouTube videos. So for you, sometimes it's just getting over the hurdle and saying, hey, I'm going to make a piece of bad content because I don't have the capacity right now to make good content, but I can show up, be consistent, and make bad content. That's number three. Number four, obsessing over gear and editing. I like to call this productive procrastination, and people love to do this because it feels like you're making progress without actually doing the hard work. So they are looking at all the gear like, oh, well, I need a great microphone. I need a camera. I got to learn about lighting. I can't look terrible. And then editing as well. We're like, well, I see these videos that are very well edited, so I have to learn this editing software, and that's not easy. So that's just another reason they put off creating content at all. The number five is wanting to have the perfect strategy before you start. And you guys are smart. You probably want to be working on the business instead of in the business and being strategic and thinking about leverage and all those different things. And oftentimes when you have so many ideas and so many strategies, that's actually the exact reason why you're not making content, because you want to have the perfect plan before you start. But you realize that's almost impossible to, one, have the perfect plan at all, and especially you're not going to know what that perfect plan is until you start. And number six, not making content a priority. And I think at the end of the day, this is what it comes down to. And so what do you do with this? Because here are the 6 different reasons of why you're probably not making content. So how do you actually start making content? Well, I like to actually reverse these. So for perfectionism, how do we cut out perfectionism? We make videos that are less than great, and we lower our standards, where instead of trying to make great content, we are trying to make content at all and try to be consistent. And then not putting it on the calendar, very easy. Let's put it on the calendar. Being afraid to make bad content, one of the best ways to overcome the fear of that, just put a bad piece of content out there. You'll probably realize people don't care, especially because most of the time people aren't going to see it in the first place. But no one's going to be knocking down your doors and assaulting you because you made a piece of bad content. Obsessing over gear and editing, again, that's just taking action, wanting to have the perfect strategy before you start. It's so much easier to steer a boat that is in motion rather than trying to steer it before it's moving at all. So focus on having some kind of action first and then iterating there. And then number 6, make it a priority. If you want to actually do this and you want to see the impact that it can make for your business, you're going to have to start making content. So this week, take some piece of content and create it. Even if it's not great, even if it's not the perfect strategy, you have to start before you can be great.